Welcome to Game Asset Creation Pipeline course using Blender and Substance Painter, where you will learn complete workflow starting with creation of low poly and high poly game asset, baking maps, and finally texturing our game asset inside Substance Painter. My name is Imran and I'll be your instructor leading you through this course. I'm a 3D modeling and texturing artist and I work mainly with Blender and Substance Painter to create game assets. Following my previous course, which was about creating low poly game assets, some of you asked for a tutorial about complete high poly to the low poly game asset pipeline. So here it is. This course is designed to teach you low poly and high poly game asset workflow using the latest version of Blender, that is 2.8, and texture these assets in Substance Painter. Blender has seen major developmental changes in recent years with key industry players such as Epic Games, Ubisoft, Nvidia, and many others joining in the Blender Development Fund, and as a result, Blender has been making its place in the industry despite being an open source and free piece of software. And no time could be better than now for learning Blender. So by jumping into this course, not only you will be learning Blender from its basics to most commonly used commands, you will also learn Substance Painter, which is already a tool of choice in major game studios due to its powerful procedural texturing workflow. Having command on high poly and low poly game asset creation workflow is an essential skill for any game artist. Hence, in this course, I'll be teaching you some theoretical concepts behind game asset creation and the important workflows that you need to take care of when creating the high and low poly mesh. We'll be discussing some important practices that are essential for baking perfect normal maps. We'll also discuss the important points when exporting low and high poly meshes from Blender to Substance Painter to ensure that we get perfect bakes. Before starting game asset creation, we'll get an overview of Blender's interface and some common options. We will be discussing the commonly used keyboard shortcuts which are key to use Blender efficiently and make you faster as a 3D artist. After that, we'll learn about key workflows such as bevel, inset, and extrude to create our low poly game asset, and how to turn low poly into a high poly mesh using modifiers and maintain its shape with the help of support loops. Following that, we'll UV unwrap our low poly game asset and ensure proper material assignment before exporting meshes for baking maps. In Substance Painter, we'll first go over its interface and discuss how Substance Painter works. We'll then bake normal and other maps and texture our asset using layer-based, non-destructive and procedural workflow using masks and generators. By the end of the course, you will know key concepts to create game assets that are ready to be imported and used inside a game engine. The ideal candidate for this course is the one with a very basic understanding of what 3D is and who has interest to become a 3D game artist. There are no prerequisites for taking this course. All you need is the desire to learn and the commitment to practice what you learn in this course.